Hello, my gardeners. Listen, I have a feeling that my roses are growing every day by an inch. Everything in the garden is changing so fast, so I wanted to walk with you today and show you how my roses are doing. Some of them are doing magnificently well, and some, well, let's hope that they will be doing better. So let's have a little unofficial garden tour. Garden is full of color right now. Grass is green. My roses are putting a lot of new foliage out. And I want to show you two different stems on my generous gardener. The main stems. And one of them I trained into horizontal position last fall. And another one was sitting in the vertical position all winter, and only in this spring I turned it down, and I noticed a huge difference in those two different stems. So let's go and see. Right here, two different stems, this one and this one. So this one was sitting in this horizontal position all winter. And look at these beautiful, wonderful, healthy shoots, which are produced at every spot here, every leaf spot here. Wonderful. But when you look at this main stem, which was bent only a month ago, you see it's not as willing to produce those lateral shoots. I should have bent it before winter and let it sit the whole winter like that. So that's an interesting observation for rosarians to know. From now on, I will know that I have to train my main stems into horizontal position ahead of time for rose to have good several months to think and prepare. Generous gardener is putting a beautiful canopy on. Look at this. Burgundy green. Looking very healthy, very good. Last year I put these stems to the side, and every lateral stem will produce a flower this year. Wonderful. Now let's go and see how our Katrina rose is doing. This construction I built specially for her last year. And she is in a very, I would say, difficult situation here. It's very close to the wall of the house, and the bottom is always shady, so I'm hoping that this rose will be able to climb towards the sun. And she's looking good. She's not looking great right now. Let's go and look. But the hopeful sign is that she has a lot of young, beautiful shoots coming from the root system. Look at that. All the beautiful new shoots. So hopefully they would be able to grow fast and build up the canopy. The other day I replanted my Boscobel rose. Let's go and see how that rose is doing. Right behind that chair is my Boscobel rose, and this area is hosting 4 different roses, 5 actually. So the good sign about Boscobel rose is that she is not wilting. Judging from her condition, I moved her from the front of my house where she was struggling. So she's not a young rose, she's around 4 or 5 years old, and she had such a miserable little root system that I was really surprised at that size. So this is her, didn't wilt. Of course we have very cloudy days right now, which is very good for her. But just in case the sun will be there, I'm keeping this chair here. Here we have Bliss Parfuma. on both sides of this custom built by me arch, I planted 2 new dawn roses, and one is own root and another is grafted. So on this side we have own root, and on another side we have grafted. Grafted rose is in less favorable conditions because it's a little bit more shade there. So let's come and see how my roses are doing this spring. So own root came into my garden with a tiny little band of a rose. It was really small. It was probably 1 year old. The root system was very small. And this is what it did so far in my garden. Here she is. She has a little protection there from rabbits. And this is how she's starting to grow. New dawn, developing new shoots. Looking quite healthy, I must say. Now let's go to another side and look at another new dawn, which is grafted. There is a difference between them. I can see it clearly. My bleeding hearts are coming along, wild daffodils are fading. Bleeding hearts are just starting to flower. All right, so here we have new dawn grafted. Stronger performance? Well, grafted rose is usually a bigger rose coming into the garden, and my own root was a really tiny rose. So I'm expecting big performance from my new dawn this year, since it's a very vigorous rose, it grows very fast. And the first year after the introduction in my garden, I usually don't fertilize roses. I only do it next year, and I do it well. So this year these roses got a lot of good food. I put cow manure around the root system. So hopefully this year they will be doing a great performance, because they have to cover a big height here of this arch. Now you might say, what this rose is here? Well, this rose is, what's the name of this rose? It's Brother Gadfile rose, and she decided to become a climber, and I let it become a climber. Look at this. She produced 1 year this long shoot. I didn't take it down, keeping her as a shrub because she's trying to reach the sun, and all the side shoots are growing now. This rose is a struggler in my garden. Every year I say that I move her, and I don't. So let's see, let's see what this year this rose will produce. Hopefully she will be producing blooms on the long main stem. All right. One more rose I want to show you. These roses are growing at the back of my house, and this is Olivia Austin rose. I am very impressed by this rose. She's just doing the growing of second year in my garden, and look how wonderfully she is performing. A lot of strong new growth. I see some basil shoots coming along, not many, but she has a lot of green foliage, which is lovely. I think this year would be her greatest, not greatest, probably great performance so far in the garden. There are 2 plants planted together, approximately, I would say, 1.5 feet. Now let's go and see how my Lady of Shalott is doing. Lady of Shalott is putting a lot of new basil shoots, which is very lovely. What I like about Lady of Shalott, she is of this light green burgundy color when she's young. So let's go and look at those shoots. Look at them, nice and strong. The future of this rose. She's a little bit slower than Olivia Austin rose, which is fine. Every rose has its own growing schedule. So here we are. Roses are growing well. These are the roses which are growing at the back of my garden. Garden is progressing very well, getting greener by the day. And very soon we will be celebrating the new blooms here. Oh, I look forward to that. And I'm really hoping that either cardinal or robin will come here and will make the nest in my climbing rose again. Happy gardening, and I will see you in my next video.